agenda or anything like that. It's a drop in between 4:30 and 6:30. If you want to drop in and just kind of see what we're up to, ask questions, learn more about us. If you're interested in volunteering, it's just a very informal, drop in kind of experience just to see what's up and whether you want to be involved.
Well, and there's a lot to be involved in, really, too. And what I find fascinating is every time you come on the show, we talk a little bit more just about the community involvement side, but also from the policing side of things, and how really just the work that you've been able to do and collaborate with the Alton Police Department on has really been just a step and above a lot of other areas, truly.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, there's some things going on in some other agencies, so we're definitely not the only ones in the game. And, there's a lot of people doing really good things. So this isn't about, kind of tooting our own horn. It's like there's a lot of need. And so I feel like, we need to voice that, and we need to understand that if we had everybody at the table, there's significant need out there. But we also, one thing I want to talk about today is, we still need to celebrate those success stories, because these are people's lives behind these numbers. I can say, oh, we've assisted this many people this year, which I've been working on our annual report for 2024, and that's going to come out soon. And so we do have those numbers, but we need to tell stories, and we need to understand that those are people behind those numbers, and that's kind of, what it's all about.
Well, and that's a really good point to make about that too, is, a part of every recovery, there should be a celebration, because, it takes a lot of work to really go through that process and really understand it, and really rediscover yourself in that journey too. And so, it's pretty easy to dogpile somebody when they're already down and out, and it's pretty easy to kind of jump on the train, but create your new one whenever you're building that person back up again, and recognizing that hard work and sacrifice that goes into, really getting better for yourself and your loved ones.
Well, I would say, especially with law enforcement and first responders, and you obviously know this, but all too often they see people, they help people, they report on the scene, maybe in some cases revive people or connect them to services or not, and then they never see that person again. Mm-hmm. And I would suspect that it's because they assume they've either died or moved on to another area, right? And that's not a good way to think about it, because what's quite possible, and I'm proof, and I'll tell you more, is that person found recovery, and they go on to be a contributing member to society and help other people and all the good things. So you talk about a celebration. I couldn't agree more.
100% over, Jake. And by the way, Jake has joined us for the first time, so we have to break the ice here. How I do that is I normally spell something wrong the first time I have somebody on. Megan's name is easy, so I got lucky. Did I spell your last name right? Let's look at the lower third here.
It is correct.
Did I do it? Oh, God, I'm on fire this week. I haven't had a single typo all week.
There you go.
It's like I have a new flip sign. I'm on 7 days. But, awesome. Jake, I really wanted to talk with you about this film premiere and this panel discussion. I feel really honored that you guys asked me to be a part of it. Yeah. It comes down the pipeline March the 1st, 2 to 4 p.m. at Lewis and Clark College, over there at the Hathaway Cultural Center. And, Jake, let's take us through really what this film's about and what this whole discussion is going to be about, too.
Well, so myself, I'm honored to be a part of it. But really, my story is one of many. Mm-hmm. And I think what this film can do is bring awareness to that fact, that it is one of many. I think, again, all too often people see maybe someone who's homeless in their own community, in their own neighborhood. And, we have a tendency as humans to maybe judge and make assumptions. Mm-hmm. A film like this, it's an impact statement. And what it does is it's going to, I hope, it's going to inspire hope and honestly, push back a little bit against the stigma that mental health and substance use disorders are, arguably diseases that can be treated. And, with the right support and with the right connections and with the right community support and collaboration, we can fight this thing, man. We can help people.
Well, and if it's okay with you, take me through a little bit of your journey, if it's all right to ask. So
it is. I don't want to give up too much, though, because a lot of this will be, come out in the film. Mm-hmm. But I've experienced the lowest of the lows. I've experienced homelessness. I was an IV substance user. Jobless, carless, no transportation. I was a drifter, I guess, as sometimes they're referred to. I've been in and out of emergency departments and behavioral health units and just the gutter of society, I guess, maybe. And, it wasn't until I had an encounter because trust me, there were many encounters with law enforcement, right? And I usually ended up in handcuffs or a jail cell. But it wasn't until the last encounter with law enforcement, who were critical intervention team, CIT officers, and they met me with compassion, and they provided some options, which was new to me because that had never happened. There was always only one option for me, and it was jail. But in this case, they provided me with some other options. And long story short, it was the pivotal point in my life that led to what is now long-term recovery.
It's incredible. I mean, truly incredible, and congratulations too on all the work you put in. And you know, Megan, with this panel discussion, take me through Sacred Spaces' involvement in it and how important it is for your organization to help spotlight this film.
Yeah, so I had the kind of vision for this film. We had some funding where we wanted to be able to deliver the message that it really has to be a collaborative effort, that we need to elevate the voice of lived experience and try to work to change that narrative of what mental health challenges and substance use and homelessness is like. And so Jake and I met a few years ago and just have developed this we have a similar mindset, a strong connection with like what we want to bring to the community. And so asked him to be part of it. Eric Rimrod was the producer of it. Fantastic. I mean, kudos to him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a behavioral health background at all, but it was a very emotional experience for all of us recording the film. I think when you watch it, it's going to be hard to watch it without emotion because, addiction and these types of challenges, they touch everybody in some way, shape, or form, whether it's yourself, a family member, neighbor, loved one, whatever that looks like. So it was a moving experience for all of us. And, the message that we want to deliver with this event is just show up. Please show up. Mm-hmm. This isn't a time to hide in the shadows. Like, there's going to be many in that room who have experienced mental health challenges, substance use disorders, homelessness, some type of trauma, some type of, family dysfunction or broken relationships. I mean, you name it, it's going to be sitting in that room that day. And so this is a safe space for everyone. This is a film that everyone needs to see, in my opinion, whether you're coming to look for support for yourself, whether you have a family member that's struggling, whether you have people in your coworkers in your business, people in your pews at church, whatever it looks like, there are just people hurting and there's people struggling and at varying levels. So just show up at this event, watch this film, and before the event, I didn't mention this, we're also going to have a resource area outside. So various providers and resources and social service in our community are going to have tables, resources available, and things for individuals to just chat with and grab some info. Then we're going to show the film, and then we're following it up with this speaker panel where we can just, as you are going to join us in moderating, just field some questions about this experience, about what kind of, support there's available to people, maybe take some questions from the audience and that kind of thing.
Well, I think it's really, just a really great point to make, honestly, over anything else is lived experience over perceived experience.
Absolutely.
And I think that,
I like that.
I think whenever you have those conversations, because we all have ideas, and we all have, ways that we can, save the world, quote unquote. But I think in this situation, you're only going to get improvements when you talk to folks that are in long-term recovery, that have that lived experience, that know what those processes were like under, maybe, different jurisdictions and different regions, how they were handled. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, it's a lot easier for me just to say do something when I've never lived it and never will hopefully live it. Mm-hmm. But you never know that. Anyway, that's another topic. You never know when it could happen to you.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't know. There's just so much with this that you can build on, because it just seems like so many times it's always tried to be decided upon by folks that just don't know. And that's just kind of my takeaway.
Yeah, I agree with you. And not just gaining perspective, but inviting those voices of lived experience along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like, this is collaboration. Like, we don't have time to, compete. Like, there's a lot of people in need, and everybody's doing their piece of the puzzle. And it takes that. It takes a village. Like, it's not, we're doing our thing and other people are doing their thing to support in this community, whether it's homelessness they're trying to address or substance use. Sacred is all about the root causes, which is always generally rooted in some type of trauma. And so we do stress that that's the continual message, is that there's a lot of programs and a lot of options out there for people. And, even living a life in recovery, you can go to treatment. And if you're just going through the motions but not healing those root causes, it's very common for relapse to happen. Very very common for continual struggle, because we got to figure out now, like, the fact that we're using this, but why are we? What are we trying to fill? What kind of void, or what kind of, numbing are we trying to give ourselves from the real root of what's, causing this? And so, that's a common trend for us, is trying to heal the root.
100%. And so how long is the film?
40 minutes.
Okay.
Just enough to really tell the story and tell it well, but not, have it be, I know attention spans are difficult these days, but we just couldn't really, we went back and forth and trying to do this in, like, shorts that we can put out through social media. Like, we wanted to, but it's just, at some point you got to sit down. It's got meat to it. It's got depth to it. This is Jake's story with also me speaking in from a trauma perspective. We have law enforcement footage of, intervention that goes on in our community. So the Alton PD is featured in the film as well. And so it really kind of paints the picture of what this collaborative effort looks like in practicality.
And see, I like that you brought that up, because I think so many people just don't understand that. When we talk about, Alton Police Department's work and really the efforts they're putting in to deal with folks in trauma, and the work that you guys put in together, but to go and see that and just see some of the real evidence of it at work, I think would benefit so many folks that are just not even curious, but just want to know more about what policing in our community looks like.
Yes,
that's not a speeding ticket anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like true policing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Jake, what do you hope people take away from this?
Honestly, it's just it's insight into perspectives that most people in today's society simply don't have. And so I education, perspective, a new perspective, resources. They're going to get resources while they're there. And honestly, I want it to have a far and wide positive impact on what honestly is an epidemic in our community with mental health and homelessness and substance use disorder. It's a well done film. It really is. Like Megan mentioned, for me, it was interesting to watch back and get the perspective of law enforcement.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
I mean, it's never something that I've considered, and it's just neat to see and know, and then I think by being here, become a part of the solution.
Well, and was it hard for you at all to do the film? I mean, because I know there's got to be tough points, and even though you could revisit something 100 times, it's still got to be. I'm just curious if that was painful at all.
Sure. Well, I'll say this: I've told my story many times to many different audiences, and it never gets easier. I mean, there are things that happened in my past that I am most definitely not proud of. Right. But at this stage of my life, at this stage of my recovery, it's almost strange to say, but I almost feel fortunate, or, I feel like the things that I've gone through were for a reason, and good reason, because now I'm able to use those lived experiences to then, do something like this and be a part of something like this and impact the community and have a positive impact, and then help people who are still struggling.
This is just incredible. You guys can learn more by going to the Sacred Spaces of Care Facebook page. There is a QR code, and we'll take you to the website here after a quick break. It's 9:49 on this Friday morning. It's 37 degrees. I don't know why that's saying 35. It's not getting colder out there yet. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show comes right around the corner next on the heart of the 618.
I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody.
Turn the visor upside down, you know? Here we go.
I'm not worried about the ring.
Welcome back. A little bit of Uncle Cracker and a lot of Megan, Tyler, and Jake back in the studio, Sacred Spaces of Care, and this really cool panel discussion and the showing of this film. It's going to be wonderful. The film premiere of Finding Jacob and the panel discussion. We've just been talking about it. If you're just tuning in, it will be available, RiverBender.com/daily show on demand in about a few hours. 2 to 4 p.m., March the 1st. This is, how many folks are a part of this?
So the Alton Police Department, along with Sacred, IRC, Illinois Recovery Center, where Jake works, and he's a recovery outreach specialist there. We do have a few other places. They were tremendous in it because they allowed us into their facility. We did filming within the facility.
Cool.
That's something else too. We were talking earlier about just community perspective. Like, you know, most of us have never walked into a treatment facility. We don't want to know what looks on the inside or the intricacies of it.
Very true.
So getting to see that, and we have a few places in St. Louis that allowed us in that are part of his journey. Like, he literally walked his prior path, went to spaces where he had experienced homelessness and where he had been in, facilities and things like that. So
it was something else. There was even one point in the making of the film where we revisited a place where I sheltered, I guess you could say. Slept outside, more or less. It was something.
Man, that's going to be powerful to watch, honestly. I mean, really
it
is.
It is very moving. And I find it, I know Jake personally. So not only is it, emotional and meaningful to me because of our relationship, but I have other people that are Jake in my life. And I think that if you walk in as, maybe a family member of someone with a similar story, like, it's Jake's story, but it's everyone's story,
Right.
And so when I watch it, I also think of other people in my life that I love, that either some of them, luckily like him, are now living in a life of recovery. Some who, are still struggling with mental health or active addiction and things like that. And so I think it is moving for anybody in the room, I think.
One, I think, too, another point about it is the fact that, there's always, those folks that are kind of on that edge, that line of, could it go down into that spiral? And sometimes, I don't want to blame the loved ones, but you have, people that care about you that maybe get on you a little bit too hard, and it pushes somebody down a little bit of a darker path for whose reason or whose fault, it doesn't matter. It just happens. Yeah. And so to come here and kind of get some insights ahead of time, if maybe things aren't looking too good, it maybe could prevent you a long way by getting those resources too, and really working to stabilize things.
Yeah, or the opposite of, enabling and kind of, taking
more stuff. So, very good point.
It goes both ways. It's really,
that's your expertise in it, though, because that's where I think this is going to be so important, because for the folks that have my perspective, there's always that one too, and you have all of them as you live it.
There's always like the tough love versus the enabling and everything
it's
in
so
between, right?
Yeah,
you have to find what works for you and your.
I like
your
it.
family. Yeah.
See, this is going to be really just an important. I'm glad you came on to talk about this. So thanks for stopping by. Seriously, Jake.
Yeah, we didn't mention earlier.
Hold on.
So we would like to try to get people to reserve tickets, but you are not going to be turned away if you just show up the day of and don't have a ticket in hand. They do not cost anything. It's just to help us get a head count. So completely free of charge. We have enough sponsors of the event to cover the event cost so that we can just put it out there. And like I said earlier, don't let anything hold you back from coming.
Yeah, please do. And also, to get a little bit of just a sense of the community spirit of Sacred Spaces of Care, and you can get a little bit more Jake too. He'll be there for a few minutes. You can be a part of the trivia night for Sacred Spaces of Care, and I like this because you interweave and make it Sacred Spaces of Care trivia night.
We do. So it's all about fun. It's a relaxed atmosphere. Have a great time. Trivia is supposed to be that way, but we don't let any opportunity kind of sneak by without weaving in, our mission and what we're about. So last year was our first one. We're repeating the event this year. It was so well attended. We had nothing but positive, vibes after that one. And so we interweave like stories of lived experience and testimonials of people that have worked with us and have been able to have some successes and some change and things like that. And so we just really try to, and also just promoting our local providers and businesses. And so we're still accepting like round sponsors for the event, auction items for the event, because we really want to promote what is available to people in our community. So if you have something, especially wellness related, this is a great opportunity because we're able to share your information, provide resources to people at the event itself and really promote what's available to them in the community if they're looking for something, to contribute to their wellness. But even just, any business, any person, any group that just wants to kind of get their information out there and say, hey, we're here and we're available and we offer this service to the community. We do the sponsorships, the auction items, those types of things as well. And trivia is a blast. We always have a kind of a theme that runs through that as well. So hopefully everybody will come out. That's on February 8th. So
February the 8th, doors open at 6, trivia at 7 at the world famous Alton River Sportsman's Club. That is a great trivia facility. I mean, it has such a nice space to it,
Yeah, it's cool. They were awesome last year, and we were coming back this year. It's just, it's a great space, very conducive for what we're doing, and so.
Jake, do you know what you're talking about yet? You got the 3 minutes already planned?
No. I usually speak from the heart.
That's what I like. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, it's going to be a great way just to, really help, raise awareness and just support for, your guys' mission, you guys. And really, Megan, just because we haven't had you on in a while before we say goodbye, fill us in on some of the stuff you do throughout the year just for folks that are interested, maybe about what their support means for your organization and the folks that you help.
Yeah, so timing is perfect right now. I mentioned earlier that I was finishing up an annual report. We just put out a highlight video actually for 2024. It's a great way to figure out what do they actually do and what are they about. It's a couple-minute video, has a lot of pictures, a lot of just information about the events and community involvement. This annual report is going to do the same thing, and I'm going to be sharing that with my board on Monday, but then we'll put that out to the community. It has all of our programs, all of the services, what that looks like, what we can coordinate as far as resources. But it also we're very transparent, so it has all of our fiscal numbers as well. And we do need support because we need to sustain these programs. So we have some grants that we were grateful for that we were lucky to get that are ending during 2025, though. And if we don't have continuation support, then some of those things have, the risk of falling off if we don't have, enough funding to continue. And then we also have some big things that we're wanting to do in the community related to youth specifically. And so we need funding to try to be able to get some of those things off the ground. And these are programs that can make some significant impact. We have a new provider in Alton now that's now accepting Medicaid for youth therapy, which is huge. Yeah. And we want to be able to wrap around families more and get some of those connections happening. But, the work that we do is very people oriented. It's not materialistic in nature. I'm not going to be able to hand you a book that tells you kind of how to navigate. I have to walk alongside you to do that.
Right.
And that takes people and staffing and money. And so that's kind of where we're at with that. But so I'll put that information out. It'll be on our Facebook page, on our website and stuff soon. And like I said, the highlight video and that report really should paint a pretty clear picture of what are we about, what have we done in this past year, and what are our goals moving forward.
100%. And Jake, anything else before we say goodbye for now?
No, I'll touch on the trivia thing, though.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at trivia. I don't usually contribute to my team, but I always enjoy getting with a group of friends and having a good time and playing games and listening to music, and I look forward to seeing people there.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, we'll see you there on February the 8th, and then if you have time on Monday to stop by around 4:30, and if you want to volunteer or learn a little bit more about what Sacred Spaces does, and don't forget March the 1st, 2 to 4 p.m., you'll see all of us there at Lewis and Clark, and we'll have a great film premiere and panel discussion. It's 10:01. We'll take a quick break for top of the hour news. You stay there. I'll stay here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Since 19...
or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College.
I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back. Top of the hour news at 10:04 on this Friday morning. Here's what you need to know. Alton Little Theater is taking significant steps to address recent allegations of misconduct that surfaced from several years ago as they have launched an internal investigation. The organization has placed the employee in question on administrative leave while an impartial team conducts a thorough internal investigation. Alton Little Theater emphasized the importance of trust and accountability in the statement that they released to RiverBender.com, and they pledged to revise their policies as needed. The executive director, Eric Sykes, has assured the community that updates will be shared while respecting the privacy of those involved. We'll keep you updated as more details do emerge. A significant disruption occurred on Illinois Route 255 due to a crash involving loose horses. On the evening of January the 16th, authorities closed the southbound lanes near Fosterburg Road as the Madison County Sheriff's Office and Illinois State Police responded to the scene. Reports indicated that 2 horses were seen running near the highway, which may have led to this incident. At least one vehicle attempted to evade the animals, resulting in a crash with another vehicle. The extent of injuries at the time of the posting was unknown. We'll keep you updated once we get any more information. A 16-year-old male from East St. Louis has been detained on a charge of possession of a machine gun, according to Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain. The charge relates to an incident that took place on the 11th of January near State Street and Market Street in Granite City. The delinquency petition alleges the juvenile possessed a handgun modified to enable automatic firing with a single trigger pull. The Granite City Police Department conducted the investigation. Hain emphasized the charge based upon probable cause. Ronald Simpson has been appointed to represent District 2 on the Madison County Board, succeeding Stacy Pace, who recently took on the role of Community Development Director. Simpson will serve until 2026 and has a diverse background, including experience in education, and has a federal law enforcement agent involved in RICO investigations. County Board Chairman Slusser praised Simpson's impressive interviews and community involvement, noting his active participation in the Edwardsville School Foundation. In addition to his board position, Simpson will also serve on several committees following Pace's resignation on December the 18th of last year. And finally in the news today, in local sports, Marquette High School shined at the Greater Gateway Metro Conference Bowling Tournament, taking the top spot with a score of 3,266. Althoff Catholic followed with a score of 2,615, while Christ Our Rock and Metro East Lutheran secured third and fourth place, respectively. Individually, Marquette's Matt Kane led the boys with a score of 773, with teammates Corbin Bernard and Thomas Davin also earning top honors in the girls' division. Althoff Catholic's Lillian Smith excelled with a score of 638. And for a full write-up, it's available on RiverBender.com /sports. Let's take a look at weather today. At 10:08, it's 38 degrees. It feels like 38 today. It will start to turn cloudy. It will become breezy by this afternoon, a shower in spots as we start to turn over into the evening hours. Tonight, a bit of snow. Rain at times with a mix this evening with little or no accumulation. It will become breezy with a flurry, so just watch out for those slippery spots as it will be 50 degrees today. That snow won't stick, but if you're walking out on your front porch, you just never know. And just stay tuned to RiverBender.com. Weather alerts by texting RB to 618-202-4618. And you'll never miss out on any of those weather advisories and any extreme condition changes. Air quality today is at 44, which is good. Now let's take a look at our weather. And man, not looking good for us in here today, folks. Friday and Saturday, we better cherish them. That's all I'm saying. On Friday, a high of 48, a low of 27 degrees. That's today. So we're touching 50 at some point. It'll rain this afternoon, but other than that, will just be a mild day until we transition into the evening hours. On Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high of 31, but temperature drops 20 degrees overnight to 11 as we head into Sunday. On Sunday, a high of 18, a low of 3 degrees. On Monday, a high of 14, a low of 1. Yeah. On Tuesday, a high of 15, a low of 10 degrees, and that's a look at the next 5 days. And here's a look again at what's happening now. 38 degrees at 10:09. It feels like 38. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. That's the landmark phone number, the time and temp phone number. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab Recover and Return Home. All right, while I have you, it's a Friday. My turtleneck's a little tight, make me hard to breathe. But you know what I'm going to do? And I'm going to encourage all of you to do? Stop by my friends at Village Dispensary today. Go say hi to the gang and make sure you're ready to hang out for Flower Friday, where you're saving big on eighths. Hey, every special at Village Dispensary, whether you're going in on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday for their daily deals like Waxy Wednesday, Tasty Tuesdays, or Thirsty Thursdays. Today's Flower Friday. You can also just go in any day of the week and get some really great deals. Whether or not you're able to go in today and pick up a pre-roll for $5 to $10 on those daily specials, some edibles that are $5 to $10, or maybe even if you're lucky, one of those shots that they have that are just out of this world, those lemonade shots. Fantastic. Those daily deals are really where I find all of the fun at, and I highly encourage you to go check it out. Listen, you don't want a hangover going into Saturday when it's going to be 30 degrees. You don't want to feel that bad when it's already that bad outside. You want to wake up feeling refreshed, and that's how you do that. You go to Village Dispensary, you have a calm night, you get on the Xbox, you fire it up, and because of Village Dispensary, you aren't screaming at some 12-year-old that keeps on trolling you. You know what I'm saying? Go to VillageDispo.com. Don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way, because when you go to Village Dispo, here's the only thing you'll be saying.
I wanna be high.
Gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
The shadows of love, I'm getting ready for the heartache to come. Can't you see me standing in the shadows of love? I'm getting ready for the heartache to come. I wanna run, but there's nowhere to go. 'Cause heartache will follow me.
What? Man, this lower third has been messing with me for a couple of days now. It's on. Hey, welcome back to our daily show. CJ Nasello here. We have made it to Friday, folks. We made it. All right, hey, coming down the pipeline in the 10 o'clock hour, Robe Honke joins us from the Alton Marina. But what I wanted to share with you, coming up on Monday, there's a lot kind of happening. You have the inauguration, but also Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Paul Pitts joined us this week, and I wanted just to share with you for the couple of minutes that we have a little bit of this conversation as we kind of go into this weekend with Paul Pitts. I'll come back live at 10:30 with Robe Honke, but just a great conversation. I want you to hear more of it, and this is just a little bit of a snapshot of it. The full one available, if I can speak today, on RiverBender.com/daily show. Welcome back to our daily show. The time is 10:18 on this 13th day of January, and it's a cold one out there, Mr. Pitts. It's cold.
It is.
I got to ask you, how was the commute? Roads good now?
Yeah, the roads are very good until I got near the building.
I'm telling you, it's a nightmare around the building still.
And I see the city Public Works Department is still
they're out there working
up the street.
Well, and really excited to have you in the studio today. And I was reading a little bit about your bio, and just to know a little bit about you, man, you have an incredible story. Not to patronize you, I really mean that. And then you've done a little bit of it all. From school boards to you name it. And I got to ask you, where you're at now in life, before we go into any part of the conversation, do you feel like the mission's accomplished, with all the public service and all the different programs and just boards you were a part of?
Well, I think there's still more work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legacy that I inherited from my father and my grandfather and my mother.
And, take me through a little bit of your upbringing, if it's okay, because I know that you were part of a pretty large family. You were the third of 9 children. Right. Busy household, huh?
Right. Well, I grew up in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the Ohio Valley, right on the Ohio River in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Is that near Appalachia?
Well, we're at the foothills.
Okay.
You're the only person in decades that mentioned the Appalachian, the foothill. We're actually Wheeling, West Virginia, the northern part of West Virginia, the eastern part of Ohio, and the western part of Pennsylvania. We're all in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, and it comes down to the Ohio River.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, which is the Ohio River is formed by the Monongahela and the Allegheny River at Pittsburgh. And that's why they call the stadium Three Rivers.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's why I think they still call the stadium Three Rivers, because the Allegheny and the Monongahela forms the Ohio River, which goes through Wheeling, and we lived on an island. You talk about floods.
Oh, man. So you know real floods.
I know real floods. So that's where I grew up. Attended public school in West Virginia, went off to the service. And,
wow.
got my degree and kept busy in the public sector.
Well, and before we go into public sector and just everything else, I wanted to ask you a little bit, just because the one statement is just that I thought was so eye-catching to me, and it's the simplest one in the whole write-up that I was reading about you, was the fact that your mom dedicated herself to raising all the kids. And here's what I got to ask you: is my family, my aunts and uncles are about 5 in their family, not 9, and even with 5, it was a little bit of a struggle. Take me through just some of what you saw your mom doing and your father too, or everyone in your family, to kind of keep everyone going. I find that fascinating.
Well, again, we go back. This is the 40s and the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah. This is a lot different time too.
We knew what the, I won't go into that.
Right.
But those of us from that era, we knew what it was like.
Right.
Even in West Virginia and other parts of the country, it was the same. Racism, discrimination, and prejudice is the same, north, south, east, or west. But what I didn't mention about my mom, she was also a maid. Oh. So she would go out to what we call the high rent district, where all the wealthy white people lived back in West Virginia and Wheeling, and then she would work there during the day.
That's incredible.
And in the summer, we would help her. There were 5 of us. There were 9 of us, 5 boys and 4 girls, and 5 of us still here. But anyway, we would help Mom, scrub floors, clean windows.
It's incredible. So you enlisted into the Air Force, correct?
Right.
What was the decision that you said, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm going to serve my country?
Well, to be honest, I didn't want to go to Vietnam, but I ended up in Vietnam anyway.
Oh, wow.
I got my letter.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I talked to my parents and I said, I'm going to enlist.
Okay.
And I did.
Well, and was there any bigger conversation you had with yourself about doing that, or was it just, I'm going to do this, I'm going to enlist after the cards?
I was going to serve my country because my older brother was in the Navy. He was in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And I had an uncle was in the Army. I had several uncles who were in World War II and who were in the Korean War. Mm-hmm. So military obligation and patriotism in my family goes way back to the 1800s.
Wow. Well, and, take me through your active duty career a little bit, if you don't mind, because it led you to Scott Air Force Base in the end, correct?
Right. I had 8 years active, and I spent some time in Michigan, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. My first winter.
Real winter.
Real winter. Because we came there in the summertime.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Came there in the summertime, and you know how the weather is in northern Michigan. And then I re-enlisted in 1968, and in 69 I got stationed in Vietnam. I was in Vietnam for a year, served our country.
What was that, if it's okay for me to ask, what was that experience for you? If it's okay for me to ask, because I know that it's...
Well, I think with any veteran, your experience in the military, especially if you served in a war zone or like some of the young people today, it stays with you.
That's what I was curious.
It stayed with you. I grew up. I became of age and aware of more things about being a human being and the things that I want to do once I got out of Vietnam and came back. And I came back. I was stationed in Grand Forks Air Force Base, where I went to school. I went to school in the GI Bill there.
It's incredible. Mm-hmm. Well, and take me the GI Bill. I used to do a veteran show in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. I produced and helped out every once in a while and talked on the air with Terry. But just to learn about some of the ways and just when these GI Bills were introduced, and also some of the newer ways, like with the real estate, the VA home loans, and some of these different programs, it's really fascinating to know, especially now, how veterans unlock their benefits. But back then, how much work that you guys had to do to find out that these benefits even existed sometimes,
Well, you know what? I'm not an expert on the VA.
Neither am I.
But at the University of North Dakota, and at North Dakota at that time, they had offices very similar to what we have over at SIUE, but it was nowhere the breadth and depth of the services that are provided today through a veterans office at colleges and universities. But we had a small office at the University of University of North Dakota, and we work with the North Dakota, at that time, the Employment Bureau. We called it.
Gotcha.
And the university and the VA office on campus, which I worked at.
Yep.
We were able to provide some benefits for jobs and for education for veterans at that time in the 70s.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was, it just dawned on me recently that we were able to do that.
That's incredible, and really is. And now, during your time over there at University of North Dakota, you were elected the student body president. How did that happen?
Well, I was a little older. I was in my late 20s at the time I started my college career. And, being in the military, you kind of speak up. And there were some things going on in the housing, I think, with payment and the city of Grand Forks. We didn't have a precinct. And let me go back. The precinct where the University of North Dakota was at that time, students were 90% of the voting population, but we had no representation in city council. That's where.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you guys were 90% of the voting block and had no rep.
Right. Well, the university was there. And we had at that time, I think, 10,000 students, and I think the precinct that we lived in, well, we had 80 to 90%. We had the majority of, we had enough students or enough people who could vote or eligible to vote that if we got together as students, that we could win that, we could win that council seat in the precinct where the university was.
That's incredible. And that's what I find, because I was reading through a little bit, and I find this part to be so fascinating, because I'm sure you learned a lot, in that time on how to not only navigate the red tape and the bureaucracy side of things, but also just the constituent side of things with younger folks around you and all of that. Did you learn a lot in that role?
Yeah, I certainly did. And one role I learned, which, again, the military helps you, is working together as a team. Working with people you don't always agree with. And now, we're a university. We got 10,000 so students. And there were only about 100 African Americans at the University of North Dakota at that time.
Wow.
And so, as a student senator, I was able to use my...
Welcome back. Hey, just wanted to preview a little bit of that Paul Pitts interview. That's available, RiverBender.com /daily show. That originally aired on Monday. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the Alton Marina right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
I reach, and the subplot style still straight from Long Beach. It all comes back to you, you're bound to get what you deserve. Try and test that, you're bound to get served.
I don't know what I got, but I got Robe Honke in the studio, so there you go.
We're going.
A little bit of downtime at the marina right now.
Oh, yeah. Quite a bit.
Still working, though?
Oh, yeah. We're still down there getting ready for the new season.
Well, that's what I was asking. Kind of curious about what that off season looks like, because you guys are nonstop when that weather starts to turn over. That it's hard to kind of breathe for you. So I didn't know if this was kind of a big prep period.
It's a nice lull in the action.
Yeah.
So it's not that there's nothing to do. There are things to do, but we're not quite as pressed. We shorten our hours. We close the office on Sundays. Basically, right now, our main focus is making sure the boats are safe and making sure the aerators are on when the ice comes. And we've had a little bit of that here recently.
How does that process? I've always been fascinated by it. How do you prevent with the aerator? What's the function of it? How long do you have to
keeps the water moving?
Is that it?
Yep.
How long do you have to keep? Do you have to turn it on a certain amount of hours before the weather changes, or
we just watch the weather and we watch when it's going to drop and how long it's going to stay in that temperature zone, and we just as a precautionary measure, we'll run. We're winterized, so there's no water anywhere in the marina except for the administration building.
Right.
So we'll run trickle of water overnight just to make sure the pipes don't freeze. We'll turn the aerators on, just keep the water moving under the boats that stay in the harbor. And they can either choose to have them or not. They pay a little extra for one, and we go and set them up for them. We plug them in, and then when the temperatures come back up and the ice is gone, we turn them off.
I'll be darned. I've always wondered about that. Seriously, I didn't know how that process worked.
That's it. Well, it's nothing fancy.
Well, speaking of nothing fancy, what is fancy is I love these new this new concrete addition that's getting put in, man. I'm really excited about it. I've said this for a while. It needs it. The economic engine that the marina truly is, and just what it brings to the region too, with folks all around the world coming in and docking. Man, you need it, and it's a safety issue more than anything.
Yeah, the people that are our regular visitors, our regular guests that come from other marinas and from around the country and around the area, around the region, they're going to have the surprise when they get here in the spring or in the summer when they see what we're doing down there. It's not done yet. Couple reasons. One, weather.
Right.
Main reason, weather. If it's raining, they don't work. If it's a real high winds and really cold, because they're doing a lot of welding and stuff.
Gotcha.
They've got to cut back on it. And then the other reason, I mean, obviously the snow, but the other reason is the company that makes the panels.
Yep.
Can't keep up with the guys that are doing the work. The guys that are doing the work, I got to give a shout out to Stutz Excavation. They do such good work, and they're figuring it out so fast that they're just ahead of them.
Slow down. No,
that's
incredible.
They're doing
man.
a great job.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, there's been a few little hiccups here and there with it, but we're figuring it out.
So springtime, you think this is going to be completed, or summer?
I think realistically by middle of summer.
Man, that's incredible, though. I mean, that's not even a year turnaround time.
Right.
Yeah, because you got
as long as the materials show up on time, and as long as the weather holds up. I mean, they built in contingencies for weather, and that's above my pay grade.
Mine too.
They do that with planning and development. So
really cool. Well, and with that, so it's going to be the main. Pretty much everything that was wood is going to be concrete, correct, or almost all of it.
Everything that's exposed.
Everything is exposed.
Yeah. Anything that's covered is going to stay.
Okay.
And it's all in really good shape.
Right.
Anything that's not exposed to UV light. And heavy rains and freezing and that kind of thing pretty much holds up. Man. I mean, we have to replace maybe one or two of those a year, but on the main walks and especially down by fuel dock and anywhere that's not covered and doesn't have shade, we're replacing. We can't keep up with it.
No.
I mean, it was like I had a kid that was working there last summer that all he did was replace boards all day, every day.
Oh, God.
And it was never ending.
Man,
so
talking about a monotonous job. But I bring that up because I'm excited to see what it looks like, and I know that it's going to be a huge improvement for all those people that use it, man. That's exciting. The other thing is, you got a whole year of excitement coming up. I mean, the powerboat races are coming back down the pipeline. Where do we start first, man?
Well, our first real event is going to be obviously it'll be fireworks
Mm-hmm.
on the 3rd. It's always a big weekend for the harbor. The holiday weekends, the boating holidays, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Labor Day seems to be a little busier than Memorial Day.
Really?
Yeah, we get busy when our season starts in April, because our fiscal year starts in April. That's when all the mooring permits go out and people start coming in and putting their boats in and getting the docks around them cleaned up and ready. Right. And we have a few inspections we have to go through, and nothing we can't do while we're open, but just a few of those little things here and there. And then pretty much we don't really start picking up busy-wise until into June.
Okay, that makes sense, though, because
middle of June it starts. Well, kids are out of school.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah. Kids are home from college, kids are out of school, and people they have a little more freedom.
Right.
In the summertime.
So for the fireworks on the 3rd kicks off really the event season of Alton Marina.
Right.
And then what follows that one?
That's F1. F1 is on the 18th, cool. 19th, and 20th this year.
Of July?
Of July. They moved it because of better water conditions.
Makes sense.
Spring drawdowns was a problem for us last year with F1.
You guys were fighting that like crazy, wasn't that a big problem?
So the Corps of Engineers mitigates flood,
right?
And their mandate is keep commercial traffic moving and keep the areas above us upstream from flooding.
Right.
So where we sit, kind of geographically, we're at a disadvantage in the springtime, because as soon as they open those gates, it's like pulling the plug out of a bathtub. We sit on the bottom, and everyone up top is draining, and we're sitting on the bottom.
Gotcha.
So that's what happened last year. F1 was in
June,
3rd week of June.
Yeah.
So we were still dealing with spring drawdown in June.
That's why, but it's fascinating though to hear that, because when I think spring, when you just hearing the term spring drawdown, you think by April or May this is going down, but it makes so much sense because you have a massive, one of the biggest bodies of water in the world flowing down multiple states.
And if you've got rainfall up there anywhere in that basin, they're watching that, and they're trying to predict who's going to crest when and who's coming up and who's nearing flood stage. And it doesn't take much to get, for instance, Grafton into flood stage.
Right. Well, and it's just fascinating, though, because we don't see that as, just from the public setting or anyone that's not really informed on it, on what it kind of takes to really plan something like that. Because I can see that being a huge issue, but with it being July, I think it's better for the public, too, because kind of, out of vacation mode already, because the middle of July, it seems like those are the dog days for most people of summer.
Yeah.
This is great.
Well, because everyone's waiting, because in a very few short weeks, most of the kids are going back to school in the middle of August.
Right. August 16th is normally that, or August 15th or 16th.
Man, isn't that weird? I don't remember it being like that when I was a kid. I don't remember going to school in August. I remember it being late August, early September, but not middle August.
Yeah, when I went, it was like August 30th we were going back to school, or but we're here now. But it's just I think it's a great change.
Yeah. So Formula One this year is going to be later in the year. Hopefully we've got water by then. We should have, unless there's some anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
They have changed a few things. I talked to Tim this morning and just said, hey, I'm going to be talking to CJ. Is there anything you'd like me to add? Because I'm going to be plugging the event anyway. And we're already getting reservations, by the way.
Great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So as everybody should know by now, after the vote of last month, the city and the Formula One have come to an agreement for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, next year, and the following year, they are working on, and I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but they're going to have a new layout so that it's a little more friendly for the public to watch. They're going to add more bleachers. They're just going to have the vendors set up better than they were last year, and probably less vendors than they had last year. I think when you get too many, it
takes away. And
everybody's fighting over the same nickel,
right?
So I think that's going to be another thing. And another thing they're going to do, they're going to have free music on Saturday, right after the event.
Really good. Do we know who yet, or is that too early?
That'll be coming out later, and I'll put it on our website.
Well, that's good for us to know about, because I mean, it's the middle of January, but I don't remember January ever flying by this fast. Like I know it's really kind of moving quick. So
we're getting old.
It's true. We're gonna get there before we know it. And we're in July, so mark your calendars now. Now, is the marina doing anything for folks that want to like travel in by boat to see this and hang out at the marina for a week while this is going on?
As far as entertainment goes?
As entertainment, like
we'll have our hands full with so many other things. And last year we didn't have a handful of slips left available.
Wow!
So I mean, we were really busy. It was the busiest weekend the harbor's ever seen.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and with that being said, what are you guys looking to do this year? Just as a whole with the marina, is there anything else? Because you're already building, you're upgrading your infrastructure, you're doing
that's
these
the priority
things
right now.
Yeah,
finish the decking project, move on to the next project, the next pitch. We're gonna have,
it's true.
I told the city council you're gonna get sick of me, but so far so good.
But for all the slip holders down there, and for the folks that utilize the marina, but even for us, it's good to know that you're actively pursuing these things, because if you don't, it's gonna deteriorate. I mean, there's nothing that deteriorates quicker than anything in water, and if you have that happen,
especially in this environment,
right?
You've got unpredictable weather sometimes. You've got
freeze thaws.
You've got heat. We've got the best of both worlds, or the worst, if depends on how you look at it.
But I mean, you just got to keep pushing though, and keep upgrading, because if you don't, you'll lose it, and that's what's good to know.
And we've got a 30-year-old facility down there.
And that's something.
So things are going to break.
Well, and that's just the honesty of life right there. You got a moment to stick around?
What's that?
You got a moment to stick around?
Yeah.
I got to pay a quick bill. 10:42, a little bit of change, more daily show. Hey, it's almost 40 degrees. Get out and start dancing. How about that? We'll be back after this.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Shut the door, baby. Shut the door, baby.
Every morning there's a heartache hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed.
10:46. I'm telling you, the best part of my show happens during the break. I would have millions of people watching.
You always leave
this.
stuff on the cutting room floor.
I do, don't I?
Yeah.
Robe Honke joins us back in the studio. Weather might be cold now, but it won't be in a couple of months. We're going to get back into summer mode and having some fun again in the 618. It's already time, really, to start planning because you never know how busy life gets. August the 23rd is the anniversary party for the Alton Marina, correct?
Correct.
What year?
This will be the 29th year.
Man, you're getting closer to that 30th.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you guys have anything? Are you just kind of just throwing that date out there? Is it just the save the date for the folks yet? Do we know any of the entertainment?
Yeah. I don't have the food set up yet. I'm not sure who's going to do the food.
Yeah.
But we've got Mark Close coming back.
He was fun, man. He was a great interview.
He was well, and that was a great act. We had a lot of people down there for that.
Man, they play great music.
Again, that's open to the public. We're going to have food down there. We're going to have drinks there. We'll have a cash bar.
I wanted to bring that up. Thanks for bringing up the open to the public because I learned something during the break that I didn't know of yet, and that was that the public can go into
the store.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Sure. Yeah, we got the best breakfast on the river.
What time do you guys open for breakfast?
We open at 8 a.m. But we don't start. We won't start opening until beginning of May.
So in May, in the summertime, though, if you have nothing to do in the morning, go stop by and get breakfast. Because I didn't know you guys were open to the public. That's how I mean,
we're open Wednesday through Sunday.
Gosh, and I've talked to you for years now, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we're open Wednesday through Sunday, 8 to 6.
Do you guys just serve breakfast? Do you guys do lunch and dinner too?
Yeah, we do lunch. Well, we'll do. It's just
grilled stuff.
It's grilled stuff. Yeah.
It's still good to go.
We got burgers, chicken sandwiches, barbecue. We've got they got the frozen pizzas. They got that kind of thing. But the breakfast is the best.
That's what Rob's promoting here. Okay, so if Rob's going to say that, I'll say it too. You got to stop by for breakfast. I have to stop by.
Lynn Mobley, she's our kitchen manager, store manager there, and she puts on a hell of a show.
Really cool. And but if you guys are just tuning in, really, Alton Marina has a great website, and I'm not saying that just because we built it. I love the features on it because you really do have some innovative tools and things. Just to
we'll be adding some new video, I think, this year on it.
Oh, do you?
We're going to once we get the decking project done. I'd like to have some new drone video on that. That'd be great.
Well, it's really cool, guys. And if you have a chance, I mean, just looking here at a quick glance, if you go to altonmarina.com, you can see some of the amenities, rates, leasings, reservations, the cantina, the ship store. You can also learn more about events coming down the pipeline as the season starts going. But, man, look at that.
We've got a new way to make reservations as well on there. When you go to our reservations page, it takes you to what's called DACWA. That's our new operating software.
Yeah.
And you can make your reservations and pay right then and there. You can keep all of your purchases on file with us. As long as you have a DACWA account, you can create one right there.
Look at that. I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you
can keep your payment methods in there.
And you can even do it by their app.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
That's really cool. And all you have to do is just
That's what powers our marina now. That's everything runs through that software. It lets us keep control of all the reservations, dock assignments, contracts, point of sale, everything.
Really cool, man. And if you guys are
learn something new about it every day.
Well, if you're just tuning in, I wanted to fill you in on that. Just a public opportunity. If you don't have a slip or a boat down there, not a member of the marina, you can still go in and get some great breakfast when it starts to open up in May. Plus, August 23rd is open to the public. Always the anniversary party. That's a fun one.
Come get some drinks, and then you come down and get drinks too anytime.
Yeah.
Well, sit at the pavilion, look out at the harbor, out at the river.
Yeah,
Take
it's
a walk
awesome.
down Courtesy Dock. Just there's a lot of wildlife down there, that sort of thing.
It's a really great. I mean, if you're kind of even just wanting just a relaxing couple of hours, you're right. There is no better place to really sit and just kind of chill out too.
Right.
Really cool.
We also for boaters that want to come down and to the party, the anniversary party, we're offering a buy one get one that weekend. So you stay one night, you get another night. Get another night free.
There you go. Well, and on top of that too, guys, the fun's just starting because the true season of the marina is going to start in April, May, when the weather starts to warm up. But then 4th of July fireworks on July the 3rd kind of kicks off the fun. You guys have a band coming into play on the 4th on the 3rd?
We don't. We
just kind of hang out. But the big thing is the F1 Powerboat, because that's in July this year instead of June. It was the 3rd week of June last year, but this year the 3rd week in July, correct?
July 18th, 19th, and 20th.
So second. But it's going to be a great opportunity. It was fun to watch those, man, whenever they were just whenever they were kind of warming up and doing
Stand right over that makeshift dock when they take off.
Oh, God, no. You can have that. But
no, that's awesome.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man,
great.
I'll have to come down and try that out.
It's really loud.
But it's things like that where, for all the people that kind of get grumpy about, well, man, there's nothing to do. This is really cool that no one else has. I mean, go to a lot of other river towns. They don't have an F1 powerboat.
The closest thing to us with that is the Bud Shootout over at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, so again, that's definitely more than a hop, skip, and a jump down there. So
Sure.
You have that right here. And then what I think would be fun, I mean, make it a weekend. Bring your friends in, go to the boat afterwards, go gamble, have a fun weekend, go see Mac over there after you go to the marina, and just make it a great weekend in Alton and just party. I mean, it's the summer for a reason,
Yeah.
I like it. Rob, we're on the same page today. Anything else we got to fill each other in on?
Nah, I don't think so. Not today.
Well, there's always tomorrow. You guys can go to AltonMarina.com and you can find out more information on the marina as a whole, plus that new way to reserve your spots today. Make sure you stop by in May for breakfast, because I'll see you there, and I'll be telling you about it pretty much until, well, Rob tells me to stop talking about it. So
yeah, come see us.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up the week that was on this Friday morning, the 17th day of January. You stay there. I'll stay here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Hey, me, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do.
That'll do it for all of us today. 10:56, a little shot of the White House there. Coming up on Monday, we're waiting. I have somebody that's actually at the inauguration. He's going to try to FaceTime before with his group and just do a little bit of a, how the experience is.
That's
fun.
Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then right after the Daily Show's final interview on Monday at 11 o'clock, we're just going to take you directly to Washington. If you don't want to watch the inauguration with all the analysts that get paid way too much to talk way too unintelligently, you can watch it without the commentary, just the swearing-in ceremony of the 47th president right here on RiverBender.com. But I'm out of time today, so until then, have a fun weekend. Go out there, stop by, say hi to Mac, go see Mike over at AP Cigar, see Brian, see the gang, see Ryan over there, Cats, make it a weekend. But most importantly, Rob, as always, they just need to try their best to stay out of jail.
He said he would.